Robbo, thank you very much for joining me for a chat this afternoon. First of all, probably the most commonly asked question at the moment, but how are you doing during all of this?
Today's a good day, Abby. I'm like everyone. It's the way the world's going, the way this pandemic is difficult, and there's no clarity in terms of where it's going, when it's going to end. So I'm like everyone. I'm just trying to take day by day and see what materialises. But again, today's a good day for me, Abby. I feel okay and I feel content in where I'm at.
And of course, this week is Mental Health Week. We will be discussing that a lot more later on. But first of all, I'd like to chat about football and the announcement that was made on Friday that clubs will be promoted and relegated even if the season is ended. Now, as someone who had 3 spells with Tranmere, and it's a club quite close to your heart, how do you feel about that, given where they are in the league at the moment and how their form was before the season was halted?
The Tranmere situation, Abby, is, I'm going to be brutally honest, it's disgraceful, really. The whole integrity of football will be put out there, really, for everyone for the pitfalls, for everyone to shoot bullets at it, basically. Because how can you have a promotion and relegation, but then you can have the chance to get your team to high division, and then you can't have the chance to fight for relegation to get your team out of it. I think the big thing for Tranmere is they always come good at the end of the season. And if the decision stands and they go down, I think it's criminal. Everyone wants football back because, I'm going to be brutally honest, I know you got your dartboards in the back, Abby, and you're not going to sit on the fence. For me, it's the greatest sport in the world, not because I played it. It was something I wanted to do when I was a kid and had the privilege and honour to do that. So for me, football being back would make people happy. And a lot of players some players disagree, some don't about going back and wanting to play. But again, that's their decisions. For me, I think football has to come back, but it's got to come back when it's safe and ready to do so. And that's where the patience come from. So don't rush decisions, because I don't think we're going to rush a pandemic.
On a more positive note, I think there's been, a lot of people have been reminiscing during this time. And for me, as a Swans fan and you as a Swans player, you were part of one of the greatest Swansea teams, in my opinion, that 2007-8 squad. What was it like to be a part of that?
It was fun, Abby. It was fun. It was fun on and off the football pitch. And I think, we've reminisced this week a lot. I think you've seen, with the Vetch and the leaving of the Vetch documentaries that the clubs have been putting out there. And it brought back so many memories for me and good times and good people. Some with us and some not with us today. But a fantastic time, Swansea for me as a football club, it made me a man. It made me a human. It made me feel that I was part of something, which is a special thing in life. And obviously mental health awareness and having that connection around, a group of lads who you died for. It was special, winning football games. There's no better feeling than that in the world for me. And it's difficult when you lose that. Playing for Swansea, funny story. When I scored one of my first goals, and my dad, God bless him, when I scored my first goal, I phoned him and I said, Dad, I'm in the Daily Mirror. I'm in the Daily Mirror, Dad. Going by the paper, second page. I'm in it. My dad went and bought about 20 papers, as he would do, because that was my hard fella. And he said, son, I don't know what you're looking at there, but you're not in it. And then I only realised, obviously, they have a Welsh Daily Mirror and an English Daily Mirror. So I was a bit disheartened by that. But it was a goldfish bowl and, going out into town. And it was just special, the Swansea fans, the connection you have with them. They love the football, as well as the rugby. And just a special place for me. And obviously, all of us come from different backgrounds and living so far away. We all done everything together, on and off the pitch. And we had some fantastic times.
And what would you say were some of the standout moments for you, or any pranks maybe played? I know Trans has said that you were the biggest moaner in an interview this week, so here's your chance to get your own back on him.
The biggest moaner was that just the most intelligent winner, I used to call it, because using your voice in football it is massive. But again, with Trans, if you look back on his interview, I think 4 of the 8 questions that he was asked all related back to him, because it will always be about what's he 10 and runs. And that is what he is about, you know. As well as scoring goals and me setting him up for every goal that he possibly scored and still having no thanks for it, Abby. We moved forward in life, don't we? But, you know, we built up a great relationship, Abby. We hit it off straight away. I passed the ball to him, he scores the goals. Simple as that.
It must have been great because you're still playing with him now at Ammanford.
We are, and again, I know, exactly, yeah. And Ammanford has been brilliant for me, Abby, from where I've been at, obviously. The football club itself is a big community club, and you know they've got like a mental health program going on now, the Jack Lewis Foundation, which is fantastic, and I support that. And the club is a really club going forward. You know, we got 1,200 fans in a Welsh game, you know, for Little Ammanford, and that's why I put the boots back on, to get involved, to get in the dressing room, the banter, the crack. That's what I'm about, Abby. You know me, and me without that, that's when I'm dangerous.
And I remember speaking to you quite late on in your career. I think you were back at Tranmere at the time, and you had quite a few niggly injuries, and I think you knew that your career was going to come to an end, but you couldn't accept that, and it was very difficult, you know, to experience that even from the outside, to see that, you know, you really didn't want to let go of that, and you knew that it was such a big part of you that it was almost impossible for you to break away from football and from having that playing career, because you didn't really know what would follow. How difficult was that?
The power of a story for me is absolutely huge, Abby. And for me, you know, we've heard all footballers talking this week. I think Leandri was a massive positive in terms of mental health this week, and the way he spoke and come out, and brilliant by what he'd done. But again, when you finish football, you cannot recreate. You can't. First of all, you can't recreate a dressing room. You know, you can't recreate a dressing room. You know, I can go into a building site tomorrow, and I could not be like with them lads that I was with the football lads. Yeah. You know, I just couldn't do it. I could not be that same person. And me without football, you know, for me, obviously now I understand where I'm at now in life, and obviously I've got an illness, and I'm learning and found the solutions with the illness. For me, the 90 minutes on a football pitch was my safest place ever, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And when it was over, then I probably would moan a lot, whether we won or lost. But it's just special. It's a special place. The dressing room is a special place, and I've had the privilege to play for some unbelievable clubs. But when you finish, and you know that's taken away from you, you know, I've actually got the boots back on now after what did I finish? I think it was 35, 36. I finished up at Stockport. I got the boots back on like this year, and it was the best feeling in the world. You know, just throwing the Al Predators back on and getting out there in the training pitch, playing games with the lads and winning football games. It's the best feeling in the world. You can't recreate that. And it was probably after that where I started to understand, well, not understand, because I spiraled out of control after that. And then once that bubble had burst, and I found out who it was.
How difficult did you find it to say, do you know what, I'm Andy Robinson and I've got this condition?
Yeah, massively. You know, I was in denial for so long, Abby. It was unbelievable, and obviously opened my eyes up. When I went into recovery, in June last year, and done 3 or 4 weeks in there, and to find out who you are and what you are and what you become, and understand it, because the easiest way I can put it, Abby, I took my mask off. Yeah. I took my mask off and I went, you know what? I need help.
Yeah.
Okay? I need help. You know, I might be the bubbliest in the dressing room. I might be this big character. I might get on the pitch and smash a few players. I might go through a brick wall for him, but I need help. I need help. I'm struggling here, you know. I need, you know, my hands are in the air. I'm down. I'm beaten, defeated. And I was spiral, you know, my addiction. So basically with me, Abby, I am addicted to anything impossible, you know, addicted personality. Bipolar. I've got a lot of things going on, as you know. It's on the spectrum, and I'm such an OCD. I clean up, and that's been good in lockdown because of the toothbrush out on the floor today. So it's you know, I'm just learning to find solutions around it, Abby. It was the hardest thing for me because I didn't know, you know. I just the fear of people finding out who I was, you know. I was in a bad place, Abby, you know, and I just couldn't get myself out of it. I didn't understand it. And I think the clearest thing I can say to people who is in the struggle is don't fight it, you know. And that's hard for me to say because it's not a battle. It's not a battle. It's not about what we've got to be. It's finding solutions around it and ways around it. And just speak, you know. I always stay on my Twitter account, you know. It's good to talk because it was an old phase. Bob Hoskins used to say on the BT advert. But it is, it's, you know, it's talking, being out there, and you know, take the mask off. You know, who cares? You know, we're normal. You know, it's normal for me. You're there normal, banded out every sort. It's normal for me where I am.
Yeah.
And it's sad in other ways as well because even though I've been really successful since I come out of rehab and found tools, you know, I haven't been perfect. I'm never ever going to be perfect. But I can count on 5 or 10 on one hand really now where I've gone as a person to where I was. I know the bad occasions that I used to put myself in, you know. I'd sit in houses when I was in my depression, I was drinking, I was using, and I'd be looking and judging people in the room and saying, I'm not doing that drug. I'm not drinking what he's drinking. Look at him. I was just him, you know, until I understood that was me. You know, when you're addicted to life in general, you've got a different personality like me. Have my highs and my lows, and yeah, it's difficult to be.
And how different is it now that you've accepted that more than anything? You know, obviously you can go through the rehab and do that, but accepting that's who you are, because I found that was one of the biggest things, because now if I feel rubbish and I've got to write a day off, because like you said, not fighting it is so important. If I get a bout of depression and it just comes over me and I can't lift my head off the pillow, I just go, right, that's me today. And, you know, I'll try again tomorrow. I'll try again later when I feel like I'm able to. But right now, that's me. And I don't put pressure on myself to do it. I don't force anything. You just have to let it be. And that's part of that is acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So how I try and do it up here, when it hits me and it whacks me, I just let it ride through me. I let it ride through me, you know. And this might sound strange to other people who I don't know. I say that. It might say I like to hurt myself, and I don't know why. And it's not in a physical way. I'll be like, I wanna cry, and I wanna cry even more. I think I was driving home and I put a tweet out the other week about, like, obviously the lockdown and going to work, and I was coming back and I was just crying my eyes out in the van, and I was just on an absolute massive low, and it was like, I can't beat it. But then the texts started coming through, you know, hang in there and do this. And as much as I love them texts, I actually hate them as well, Abby. Yeah. I hate them. I reading them. I've read every one. But reading them, I like the feeling of being upset. I don't know if that's because I maybe hurt a lot of people around me, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's a difficult one to explain, but all I can say is when it happens, I know it's happening now, and I think I've got the tools now, because you understand I've got an illness, and where I used to basically face everything and run away, Abby, now I face everything and recover now. That's the easiest way to put it. I used to people please, Abby, and I think when people understand not to people please, people find themselves, it becomes a lot easier. And stop telling lies. Just stop being in denial and be yourself. And if you can speak about it, speak about it. If it takes you a day or two to speak about it, if it takes you a month, you know, someone's always there to listen, Abby, as we're speaking now.
I think that's so important in terms of, you know, we want to put that front on, don't we? You know, everyone's always seen you as the bubbly one who'll always, you know, do whatever you can in order to make other people happy or to try and satisfy them. Whereas inside, it's mainly because you don't want them to feel how you're feeling inside. And that's one of the main reasons we do it.
Because maybe they, you know, with me, I think people felt secure around me, you know. You know, maybe Andy'll do this, Andy'll sort that, Andy'll make sure we're okay in that situation. But Andy was the one who was struggling. Andy was the one who was using. Andy was the one who was sitting in houses and who was drinking for 4 or 5 days, using drugs for 4 or 5. Andy was the one who was, pardon my language, fucked, Abby. Okay. Well, that was difficult, you know. When I was in me moments, and like nothing matters to me. Nothing in the world mattered to my son. You know, my son had massive issues, and my wife, you know, we stood by. Nothing matters to me when I was in that. I wouldn't care if something happened to my wife or something happened to son, which was really, I wouldn't care, because when I was in that bubble and I was used and I was hurt and I was being me, nothing matters in the world, and I just self-destroy myself.
And for me, I'm sure it's similar for you and many other people. Football provides such escapism. You know, it's 90 minutes where I'm not thinking about my mental illnesses, whether I'm going to have another bout, another relapse. It's 90 minutes where I can just concentrate on what's going on the pitch and what's happening with the club that I fell in love with many, many years ago. How difficult is it not having that both at the moment, and how difficult was it when you stopped playing to not have that?
Yeah, it's an escape, isn't it, Abby? That's an escape for a period of time where you actually don't think, you know, as you well know. If you've got time to think, then move me anyway, my mind will go everywhere.
Yeah.
Probably picture, you know, because I can get to sleep okay, but I'm up at 3-4 o'clock every morning constantly, and once I'm up then I'm thinking about probably where my next episodes be at, where am I going to hurt anyone coming forward? You know, that's me. My anxiety is coming through, and I'm stressing. Even though I'm still in a content and happy place, and I must say that I am in a content and happy place with where I am as a person. And for football, it was me happy place. You know, I think when I lost my father, it was a big influence in my life. When I lost him, Kenny Jacker pulled me into his manager's office. I think it was a day before. I can't remember who we were playing. I scored anyway, and he was like, "You're not playing," and I was just like, I think I obviously not knowing who he was. He had an episode there, and I cried my eyes out. I was saying, but I was crying in anger, in fear of not playing, because I needed that. I needed that release, and it was only after 15 minutes of showing that to Kenny in this meeting, and Kenny was stubborn. He was a stubborn guy, Kenny, at the best of times, you know. He got me out of the police station 4 times, so he done well on that. But and then he finally said, you know, you're not playing, we'll put you on the bench and we'll see how you go. Okay, that was good enough for me. I'm on the bench and I'm prepared and ready. I'm getting my mind focused, and I'm thinking about nothing else but going to make me dad proud. And when I come on and I scored the goal for me dad, we won 2-1. Might have been Colchester. Oh, Vonnie Jepson was the manager, so whatever that means. And I scored that goal, and it was just a special moment. The release and everything from that was the best feeling in the world, and that made me happy. If you can recreate them happiness like that, somehow everyone's different, then it's a nice place to be. That I really enjoyed that moment, and it was a special one for me and my alpha.
And would you say the mentality within football clubs is very much different now in its approach to people with mental health conditions? You know, back when you started playing, it might have been deemed unacceptable to go to your manager and say that you had a mental health condition. You might be worried that you'd be sidelined, and you know you wouldn't get game time because of it. As wrong as that would be, was that a genuine concern? And do you think times have changed now, and you could easily go to a manager and say, look, I'm struggling with this, and they'd be more likely to support you because they understand now. There is that understanding, there's that education, and it's less of a stigma.
It was a stigma, wasn't it? Yeah, you know, I understand exactly that. And going years ago would have been go to the manager and say, listen, I'm having an episode here, gaffer. I don't feel all right, I can't train. It'd be like, you'd be thrown under the bus, Abby. You would be thrown under the bus, and that switch forward 20 years now down the line, where we're at now. If you say it now, I think everyone understands it now. You know, everyone are open to it. So there will still be people, or there'll be in any walks of life who don't get it. You know, it took me. My son's autistic, and that was always difficult because I always thought he was just a naughty kid.
Yeah.
And I never had the tools to deal with it in how he was, and I'd always get confrontation with me lad. And it was only when I done a course on, and when I had a 2-day course, and I come and I actually understood situations, how he felt, then I worked on myself then, started working on myself. And I think that same happens for managers, for football clubs. You know, everyone's understanding now is the so-called, we're not normal. These normal people with the illnesses that we've got. You know, and I think clubs now and managers and fans are understanding of it. And it's out there now. So, you know, I think everyone is trying to, you know, mental health is, you know, it can destroy a lot of things. And, you know, when we're not fortunate, but we're still here today, Abby. You know, there's a lot of people who are not with us today who've done, you know, certain harms to themselves and probably suicidal thoughts. And, you know, I'm not going to say unfortunate because I've never had them thoughts, and people yourself, you know, maybe self-harm. And, you know, so I'm probably thankful that I haven't got to that stage. You know, and I know people will get to that stage. And so, you know, just talk. Let's just get it out there. You know, it's good to talk. It's good to come out of denial, take the mask off. You know, people will listen now. We're in where we are now, and people will listen. You know, people aren't stupid now. People are aware of what's going on with mental health.
I will be putting a page up at the end of this just with a few numbers that, you know, there is always someone that is willing to listen. Even if you feel like you're on your own, there is somebody that will listen to you.
A good one on Abby. Before I went to rehab, obviously, when I did this so-called, it's used a lot, rock bottom.
Yeah.
You know, what is rock bottom? You know, I don't really like the term. I just knew I was at a stage in my life where I was destroying everything possible. So coming back to, you know, the phone numbers that you're going to put up on the screen when you put them up, Abby, that phone call that I made to Sport and Chance, I went about 3 different directions before he actually got through to the right person. I put the phone down about 15 times in one day, and it was my wife who was standing next to me saying, do it now, do it for me, do it for the family, do it for your son. You've got to do it, Andy. That was the hardest phone call I've ever made. And there's a funny twist on that, Abby. I got through to it. I finally opened up, got through to this line. He said, this is the wrong number. You've got to phone him. I was built up, I was ready. I had to go through the whole process again, which took 48 hours until I'm not doing it. Yeah. That is it. I'm not doing it, Liz. That is me. I'm not doing it at all. No, I can't do it. I can't. And you quite know now, my mind's going and my brain all different directions. The illness is kicking in. But again, if I can pass anything on to anyone, you know, that when I did kind of come out to that call, the help was available. And mine was through the PFA, and I'm forever grateful for Sport and Chance and what they've done to me. Again, since the 12 months that I've gone, I've done ever so well now. I'm in a good position. I'm content in life, Abby.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been a good 12 months. But listen, I'm not perfect. I've still screwed up a lot over the last 12 months. So I'm still learning. I'm still finding solutions to way around it. So there's always help for everyone.
But I think everyone will appreciate that, you know, you're trying and you are learning to understand it. And it's not something that, you know, you get a diagnosis and then you know exactly what to do and you can adapt, because there's no one solution fits all with a mental illness. You could try one avenue and feel absolutely nothing. You could get no help from that whatsoever. Exactly. And you have to go down another one. So, you know, it's always going to be about learning and about progress as a person, which is life anyway, you know. And then for us, there are just added complications to that, which, you know, if someone's in a really dark place at the moment, me saying that is probably, oh, that's really simple, you must have had it really easy. But it's not, you know. There were stages where I didn't want to get better. I was ready to die. I'd tell doctors, you know, please just let me die. And to get from that position and to be told that I could die within the next day because of my eating disorder, to then get into this position where I'll happily tell people, you know, I get voices in my head that aren't my own. And to be in a position now where I'm happy to talk about that, you go through a lot of shit. You know, it's not plain sailing. It's not easy. There are tears. There are fighting. There's fighting. You want to give up. You know, it's not a straightforward path, but it is one which I'm sure you understand. You know, there's contentment along the way. And when you smile for the first time after a bout and you feel genuine happiness again, and you go, you know, that's worthwhile. That was worth me doing that.
Okay. I think with all of this, Abby, you've got to make yourself feel happy first. You know, when you make yourself feel smile, you'll smile. If that makes sense, it's like, I was always trying to make other people happy when I was destroying everyone by doing that. You know, so find yourself, be true to yourself, and be honest. And there will be difficult times. There are always going to be difficult times. I can think back after saying to you then on the interview that we've just done that I've had bad moments this year. That like eats away at me, because I think, you know, could I have been perfect this year again? What is perfect, Abby? What is perfect? There's no perfection in mental health. There's no perfection in life. So this normality thing, it's normal for anyone with mental health to work with it, deal with it, and find solutions. You know, all I can say to people from my own way I am now is just don't fight it. The way I deal with it now, Abby, is obviously I need to be busy. I need to be organised, extremely organised. Everything's got to be done correctly. And that's where I am. That's where I use this illness. You know, that's where I use my illness to my preparation, my organisation, me in my life, me going forward. You know, since I've come out of recovery, my first thing is I'm gonna get me promotion and work. Doing lots of work for the BBC. Swansea's work's taking off. I'm going to be doing this by next year, this final year after. But you know what, Abby? Do you know, as much as that's my good side of me, that's my illness as well.
Yeah. Because it's hard to cap it, isn't it? It's hard to put a cap on that, because you can keep going up and up and up and up and up, and you're going to do all these great things, and then you can have one bad day and it'll bring you back down to the bottom, and then you've got to start building again. It's, you know, it's...
Well, that's see, my high and my good times, you know, and me being successful is actually my illness as well. You know, the low times are there to be seen, because I just let it run through me. It is what it is. I'll cry my eyes out. I'll hurt myself in so many ways. I'll destroy myself. I'll press the FUCK button. I just don't care. And again, but there's no, with me, Abby, again, there's no happy medium with me, Abby. There's no happy medium. I'm either a social butterfly who's just gone off the rails, or I am down there destroying myself and everything around me, and I don't care. And I don't care. And that's difficult to come to terms with still, even though I've learned tools and solutions, you know, day by day, minute by minute, it is, Abby, for me, in terms of me illness. And just try and, I don't know, it's difficult. It is still difficult, Abby. You've got to, you know, I know I'm going to have to live with this, and now I've found out exactly who I am and what I am and why I'm like this. Yeah, it's difficult, you know. I think when I was growing up, obviously never had the medical science that we do have now, and I was probably just classed as a naughty kid as a boy, boisterous, and it was never that, you know. I was an illness, and I think when you come out of it and you throw your hands in the air and say, I need help. If there's anyone out there with the struggle, and we can help anyone, Abby, even if it's that one person, and they come out and say, you know, the interview that me and you had today, I'd help them in a one way. We've done our job, haven't we? You know, we've done our job, and that's what it's about. It's about spreading stories, because I think stories are the most powerful thing in life.